It's a lie that more success equals more stress, or that somehow more stress will create more success. That's an outdated model. When I applied the technique that I'm going to teach you today, not only did my business completely take off, I was more grounded, more present, and more calm at every milestone. Before I share the 2 skills that will help you grow your business and decrease stress at the same time, it's helpful to understand the mistake that most of us make at this point. I see this with my clients all the time who are mostly entrepreneurs and business owners. You see, there's a cognitive distortion that most of us make in business, and that's that we assume the effort, the energy, the stress that went into creating the business is going to need to be doubled, that we're going to need to increase this in order to go to the next level. And that's simply not true. So you have to first understand that the word stress is just a word for an activated nervous system. It's a part of your fight or flight response. So it's really just an activated nervous system. And we're just using the word stress to describe that. That stress that can be used as fuel isn't the most effective fuel. And it's not the most effective way of working. You see, it's kind of like driving a vehicle in 2nd or 3rd gear the whole time. You can get to your destination that way, but it's going to use a lot of fuel and it's going to burn out the engine eventually. But there's another way that you can drive a vehicle. As you'll know, you can move into 4th, 5th, and 6th. You can park the vehicle, you can stop, you can let the engine rest, you can put oil in, and so on and so forth. Most of us business owners are afraid that if we take our foot off the pedal, that everything's just going to fall down and crumble, that we're not going to get the same or better results, when actually often the opposite is true. I just saw this with one of my clients. When we first started working together, he was just like all go. He'd wake up, he'd be on his phone. He's a realtor, and he'd be on his phone, he'd be dealing with emails and so on and so forth from the moment he got up. And actually what we did is we created more spaciousness. We created a routine. We trained him how to work with his nervous system, how to actually take time off, how to recuperate and re-energize. He was actually able to step into a deeper role of leadership. He was able to better creatively solve the problems of his team and with his team in a way that allowed them this month to have the greatest month in business pre-COVID. And he really puts that to the fact that he was able to change the way that he was operating. He was able to ease up, and he was able to better solve the creative challenges that his business had in this precise moment. So imagine for you, there's probably challenges that you're dealing with in your business that if you had more spaciousness, more creative capacity, more presence, you would better be able to solve them. It seems counterintuitive, but we assume that more pushing, more stress is going to create more growth, when often, in fact, the opposite is true. You see, it's not just about growing your business whilst at the same time trying to decrease your stress. What you actually come to learn is that actually decreasing your stress is what helps your business grow. The truth is, if you're already stressed, your body and nervous system's feeling it. And if what you're saying is you want to go to the next level, you want to double, triple, 3x, whatever it is, whatever type of growth it is that you want, your body, your nervous system is just going to say no. So when you skillfully learn how to work with, how to deal with, how to transmute stressful situations in real time, in your body, in your nervous system, what's going to happen there's going to be a sense of spaciousness. And therefore, the willingness and desire to continue to grow is going to feel inevitable. It's going to be something that your body, your nervous system, your unconscious wants to do. It's going to be like moving the car from 3rd gear, where everything was burning up, to effortlessly making that clink into 4th, 5th, and 6th gear, where the body, the nervous system can just effortlessly continue. And the good news is this is a trainable skill. I know it's a trainable skill because I learned how to do it myself, and I've helped hundreds of other men do the same thing. Now, before I had learned this, I kind of just imagined it like a nice idea. Maybe it was possible, but I promise you, if you put the reps in and you dedicate a little bit of time to teach your nervous system how to work with stress, then everything else will just open up. And right now I have a bigger company with more responsibility, more clients in my team than I've ever had before. And I'm feeling the most relaxed and the most at ease I've ever been. There are 2 key skills that are going to help support you with this. The first is learning how to build an inner state of resources, an inner state of resilience, which is like strength and safety. Now, the problem is what most people face is that they're trying to deal with stress from stress, and that doesn't work. What we need to first do is to build a state of strength, of safety, and you need to groove that because it's a pathway. It's a part of you. There is a part of you that is inherently strong, safe, connected, empowered. And if you deal with stress from that place, it's a very different experience, obviously. However, we normally haven't practiced that. We normally haven't been role modeled or demonstrated that. Normally what we've seen growing up is mum or dad being stressed and just kind of perpetuating the problem. Whereas what we actually have to learn to do is how to approach stress from a new place. And in order to do that, it requires first building familiarity, building out the territory of what a state of strength and connection, of love, feels to you in your body. Some ways to do this would be breath work, would be meditation, guided visualizations on the heart, qigong, yoga, anything that brings your nervous system into a place of connection, of strength. Now, the second place where people get stuck is that they just feel this state of love, of connection, of peace, and they don't do this next piece. Now, the reason that we want to build that resource state of strength and connection is so that we can deal with life itself, so that we can fire and wire this place of connection into the stress, so that as we're dealing with stress, we can do it from this place of resourcefulness, of presence, of connection. And then what happens as you bring those two things together is that they transform. The stress no longer feels stressful because your state of connection, of safety, of presence outpowers it. So for example, you've got an employee and they are stressed out, they're acting up. Now, if what happens in that moment is your nervous system gets stressed out, you're going to be reacting to them versus responding to them skillfully. And then it's going to escalate into something that isn't supportive for that employee or your business. Whereas if as stress is arising in your field, you can hold a position, hold a place in your nervous system of connection, of strength, you're going to be able to see that, feel that, and respond skillfully, which is going to allow you to have way more creative capacities online, and you're not going to get taken down. Not only will you have a better outcome, it's not going to cause you the same level of stress and upset, and you're also going to be role modeling how to respond and how to creatively respond to challenges to the rest of your team. So you're going to be acting as an empowered leader. Just to quickly recap, there are two key things here that you want to do. Most people get stuck in either one. The first is that you want to be able to build that resource state of connection so that it becomes familiar in your body. It should probably feel like more of you. You know, when we're in this resource state, it actually often feels like, that's who I truly am. So we want to build that out. And you want to practice that every single day if you can, until it becomes second nature. Now, you don't want to just get stuck there. You want to learn how to fire and wire that into stressful situations. So as you're in that state of connection, of peace, of love, that as stress comes in, you're able to deal with it from that place. So you're going to want to practice this. And when I was first learning this, I'd have to hodgepodge things together from all over the place. Whereas for my clients, I specifically designed trainings that wove these two things together that would much more elegantly teach you these skills. So I've created that, and you can get free access to that in my app. The link is below. And the trick here is to put the reps in, not inside the business, not with your family or your wife, but actually to put the reps in your own practice. And when you can teach your nervous system how to deal with stress, you're going to see all of those benefits that you've been wanting in your business. You're going to be able to effortlessly, really effortlessly move to that next level because your nervous system is going to feel like it has the capacity to be able to take it on. And it's going to allow your creative capacity, your resilience, your insight, your critical thinking, all of those good faculties that we want to be online to actually be able to be online. Not only are you going to have the business success you want, but you're actually going to be able to enjoy the process every step of the way.